this has been fantastic to have the time with the players that we get, to be able to work with the players every day, really embed the culture, embed our way of playing. Those periods are what you live for as an international manager, and of course when it comes to the end it's very difficult.
I'll take the second question, as we're limited on time for everyone. As chair of the FWA, to thank yourself, Gareth, but also your communications team, Andy, who we see today, Louisa, Greg, Anna, Joe, Callum, the many others. You really have changed communications and how it works with broadcasters, with journalists. You've given us an enormous amount of time in a very pressured situation, and we truly appreciate that. And many journalists that couldn't have been at the games because of COVID as well will find that hard, but you have gone out of your way. We hope that has helped the journey somewhat, but we do have to thank you for that, and we hope that many relationships can go forward in the same way.
No, that's very kind. I'm very fortunate to lead some incredible staff, and you've highlighted the guys in the communications department, but all of our staff in all areas are special people, and that's why we've been able to create the culture we have. I'm fortunate I sit at the top, and as the leader you get all the praise, but the work in the background is phenomenal in all departments, and it's a privilege to work with everybody, and we don't have the team we have without that support.
Thanks, Gareth.
If I could have one more, then it would be about your coaching staff. How important have they been in this journey?
Yeah, it's critical. The roles are too big for the manager to do everything. The detail that we're able to go to. We've had some consistency, and we've had some changes within that group, and Martin Margetson has been with us, through the last couple of campaigns, and has done a brilliant job. We had Graham and Chris with us this time, which was added something different to the group, and I'm grateful for what they did. But I have to highlight Steve Holland. He's a phenomenal coach, phenomenal man. It's the calls between us at 11:30 at night at times of the season when nobody's thinking about England. We're travelling back from matches, talking into the early hours, trying to plan things, trying to get things right, and without his support and the quality of his work, there's no way we could have got to the stages we have in the last couple of tournaments. So I'm fully indebted to what he's done.
Thanks, Gary. Next to John Murray at BBC 5 Live.
Hi, Gareth. I understand that you need to see the match back, but I'm sure it's been going around in your head over and over again. What is at the forefront of your mind about what you might have done differently last night?
Well, look, I think we picked a team because of a tactical problem that Italy pose, and areas of the pitch we needed to get pressure on them and where we thought we could hurt them. And I think for the first 45 minutes everybody would agree that worked. We didn't keep the ball well enough for a 15-20 minute period, and we know that with midfield players of the quality of Verratti, Jorginho, that is always going to be a strength with Italy, so they are going to have possession. We were actually controlling the game without the ball for long periods, but that period we were a little bit more open. We then couldn't release that pressure by keeping the ball, which we had done so well in the first half. We changed the shape, which I think gave us a little bit more control, but it did open up spaces elsewhere. So any tactical change, you have strengths, and then there are weaknesses to any system. They went with a false nine for a period, which is difficult to deal with. If your defenders step out, they leave spaces. If they stay in, then you get overloaded a little bit in midfield. So that's always a really difficult problem for any team to solve. And we didn't quite create the chances that we would have liked to, but you're against a team who are incredible in terms of their defensive power as a team, not just the two centre-backs. So, yeah, there are lots of things that I will reflect on. Of course, we do that after every game, and that is the right process to go through. But until you watch the game in absolute detail, then I wouldn't be giving you a fully accurate appraisal of that.
Thanks, John. Next, the Faker of us, a TalkSport.
Hi, Gareth. Jordan Pickford was superb last night. His contribution, obviously, easy to be overlooked because of the result in the end, but he was excellent.
He was. I thought he had a brilliant tournament. I mean, there are a lot of players who come into that category, and you don't get to a final without so many players having played well, and that's what happened for us. So Jordan has often been, you know, the number of times I've sat here and his place in the team has been questioned, and he's constantly delivered for us. And this tournament, I think, was his best run of performances for England, and he should be hugely proud of that. To concede 2 goals in 7 matches, you know, our whole defence, our whole team, but of course the goalkeeper was a big part of that. 2 saves in the shootout. So, you know, he could do a little more in terms of keeping the ball out of our net, and that's always the starting point for any goalkeeper. So, yeah, he had a really outstanding tournament.
Thanks, Faye. Next to Henry Winter of the Times.
Hi, Gareth. Gareth, this is all very civilised for a post-tournament defeat. Are we and are England too nice to win?
Well, I don't see that really. We've got to a final, first time for 55 years. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not really sure what a team that gets to a final. You're not a nice team to get to a final. I think we've overcome a lot of hurdles that we've never been able to in the past. We know that a lot of players that are still very inexperienced in terms of international football and have delivered at an incredibly high level. The more experienced players in the big matches were really able to use that experience to defeat Germany, who had an incredibly experienced team, to come through a semi-final, which was hugely challenging experience for them. And we've taken Italy, who are a top team and an unbeaten in 30, right to the wire. So if we'd been torn apart or you know, looked a mess, then I might be thinking differently about it. But of course we're going to analyse everything, but also we're going to be realistic about that and not just dive into things that aren't reality and aren't the reason for not having won. It's easy to throw theories around at the end of any game in any number of areas, but I think it's important to really reflect carefully and analyse carefully when you're the coach, because I don't want to go along with narratives that probably aren't correct, but also I have to reflect on everything that's asked, which is totally fair.